Alright, so this person is either drunk, having a stroke, texting and driving. I swear to God, she's gonna kill somebody. Dumbass. Look at her, texting and driving. As if driving wasn't bad enough for women. But this is why my kids, my wife, do not text and drive. They don't put... Look at that stupid... You alright? Are you okay? I think so. Oh, son of a bitch.
I can make cocaine, 3.5 kilos on my gold chain. I just flew to Haiti, so fuck around, gave me 80. Chickens like the Wingstop, nigga tried to kill me, but I had the thing caught. They think I know the voodoo, how they keep showing my ghosts on that channel too. I'm having dreams and nightmares, MJ Moon walking on them white squares. I'm a boss, not a capo. Pussy nigga trying to call me El Chapo.
A judge has to be innocent. In order to judge another, you have to be without sin. When you break man's law, you lose your rights. When you are a sinner, you give up your right to judge others in God's eyes. You judging, but you don't know what the fuck is going on. A hypocrite condemns people every day. A snitch condemns people every day too, except to jail with long sentences. A snitch is basically a hypocrite in God's eyes. Kafu doesn't respect a snitch. 1, you are just as guilty. 2, you are only telling to benefit yourself. I refrain from speaking against what I am guilty of. If you don't feel it in your heart not to, then you are a dirty rat. In God's eye, you cannot bear witness against another if your hands are not clean. This is why snitches get stitches. Now, for many of you wondering, where am I reading this from? This is from my recent Facebook post, especially yesterday night, because I was in the spirit and I figured, you know what, under the motivation and inspiration, why not write? Today, this video is going to further elaborate on the things that came to me last night. Cast the first stone if you feel you are not a sinner. There is definitely a lot of unclean activity going on, and this is something that me personally, when I first started out, I figured I was going to be in competition, and you know, I basically figured, you know, if I can spew out as much dirt on my competitors, that would definitely, you know, let's just say, grant my position, you know. But as you begin to get wiser, you put childish things away. And I want to speak to you people about the dangers of doing such acts, such as my latter actions. See, when you point the finger, you have a bunch of loaded guns pointing at you. See, when you try to expose someone, you begin to get exposed beyond your comprehension. See, when you start saying that you are holy, you become, let's just say, an idol. You become a plaster saint. You know, basically you are putting yourself in a position of perfection. But in the law of the universe, there is something that disagrees with the act of hypocrisy. When you are a hypocrite, you see that everything that you are trying to expose, it exposes you. So if you call somebody a pussy nigga, God is going to come send niggas to come fuck you up. You have to understand that there are laws in the universe which many consider as just laws, but these are principles. There's different forces, or what we would call LWA in Haitian Creole. But if you want to get into numerology or what they call it, you know, the Torah changing letters around, it's not a coincidence that you find the word LWA can also spell law. These are laws of the universe judging our actions. So what people by misnomer call karma, this is none other than forces of nature judging our actions. You have to be careful when judging others. Everything you say or whatever comes out of your mouth can be a blessing or a curse to you or someone else. Do you understand what I'm saying? What you speak onto another individual, if it's not clean and it does not make contact with that individual's soul, it will come back to you in tenfold. You will have to live what you wished on others. This is what we call malediction. But in reverse, malediction is when you speak things and they come into existence in Haitian culture. But if the person is divinely protected, what you wish or speak onto an individual will come back to you. You cannot just open your mouth and speak recklessly without there being some retribution. Words, whether it's hakuas, whether it's mantras, whether it's prayers. I've had people tell me that they went to LWA and they made petitions, and what they asked LWA to in a negative, such as to basically hurt someone or to basically speak, like to make this person embarrassed in public. They find it happening to themselves. Even when you speak to spirits, you must know how to address them, or else what you ask of the spirit, you will eat that at a dinner table. Be careful how you speak to people, because the universal law does not discriminate between good and evil words. I can't go further without addressing the elephant in the room, because I mentioned this in one of my quotes, but I have to elaborate on this issue. Snitching. In the streets, they say, if you are into that lifestyle, you have no right to speak against your codee. Now, in this, there is a mystery that many people neglect to see. This corresponds to hypocrisy. If you are guilty, you have no right to testify against your codee, because you are just as guilty. And this is why they say in the scripture, you have an advocate when you are a sinner. Because if you are a sinner, if you are a criminal, you give up the right to speak. Now, when we are talking about kafu, when we're talking about spirits that are judges, if you understand these spirits, you will understand that silence is very important to them. Why is it that the grave is very silent? When they say they're going to the superior court or they're going to the judge in Haitian Creole pour an expedition, they're talking about going to Bawon Lacroix, because in Haitian culture, he is the judge. When you are guilty, you cannot speak against another. If you are guilty of the same act, you have to refrain from speaking against that act, or else you are going to condemn yourself. There's some spirits that will torment you for such acts. It's better that you keep your mouth shut if you are guilty. Because if you are guilty and you snitch on your brother, this is a violation. Because not only is it something that you're doing that's an abomination, because it shows that you are doing something for your own benefit. You're not telling on another because it's a just act. You're telling on someone to lessen your time or so that you can walk free. This is selfishness. It's your heart, not the action. Because if you look at the action in man's justification, they would say you're doing the right thing, but you know it's wrong to testify against someone that you are with in order to get less time for yourself. You have to chalk up your activity to the game and accept the consequences of your actions. With this said, I conclude this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.